Hello and welcome back. Today we go through the basics of Tai Chi sword movement. All Tai Chi sword movement must be understood practically, otherwise the Tai Chi will be always very abstract. So this is what this episode is for. You want to learn the Tai Chi Jian, Wudang Tai Chi sword of Sanfeng Pai? You watch this episode first. So let's start. So when we're starting with the sword, a common amateur mistake is that they're holding the sword way too loosely, right? We have these three fingers, they hold the sword very firmly, strongly, and the pointing finger and the thumb should be very loose and flexible. They actually control the sword when you do cutting motion or other different sword movements. But like holding a hammer, you can imagine where the power comes from. It comes from these three fingers holding very firm on the grip. Alright, so the first movement is rolling over and cut. So when is this important? When you have a parry situation with somebody, it's important that you know to use the gravity center to roll over and attack over the blade from the other. This is basically what we are doing here. I show you the movement now. We're starting in 𝐤𝐲𝐵 position. Also, the sword hand is very important, especially in the Tai Chi. The sword hand is directing the power and the direction of the sword. Or you could also say it's directing our energy. So first we step like this. We turn the blade slightly in the horizontal line. The hand wrist is doing a horizontal motion 90 degrees. The sword hand comes forward because it's like yin-yang. The sword looks back and the sword hand looks forward into the other direction. Yes? Make sure the pointing is always to the tip of the sword. And now the sword is vertically and we step in 𝐤𝐵. Here is where the cut is happening. The first 30 degrees are the cutting motion of the first third of the tip of the blade. So let me show you the fluid motion once again. 1, 2. Okay, so let's watch the whole movement. Look at hands and feet coordination. We are in 𝐤𝐵 position. First, sword hand comes forward and the sword goes 90 degrees. We're shifting the gravity center forward, and as you see from 𝐤𝐵, we're stepping 90 degrees, the toes look outside. Now here the sword is vertical, the sword hand goes in because the sword is about to go forward, the sword hand is about to go back. And here we step together, cut and 𝐤𝐵, and the sword hand is up, the fingers point to the tip of the blade. Again, step, 90 degrees, and 𝐤𝐵. See here again, step, 90 degrees, and 𝐤𝐵. When we do the cutting motion, make sure that the elbow is looking downward. Otherwise, if we would raise the elbow to the side, we tighten up the shoulder, which is no good. Because when the arm is relaxed, then only the momentum can go through to the tip of the sword, where the actual cut is happening, all right? So watch it carefully now. When we are here, focus on my sword hand. So you can see the sword hand is following the movement of the sword like yin and yang. And the beginning and the end, start, finish the movements with hands and feet at the same time. Understand? Now let's start it slowly, 3 times forward and 3 times backward. Watch that the movements finish all at the same time. So next we start with the second basic movement. We hold like this in center of our heart and the sword hand is on the hilt here. And now watch carefully what happens. We start turning and we use the hip. So the sword always stays in front. It goes to vertical position and we step left 45 degrees and we let the sword just go 30 degrees forward and cut like this. And then we turn again, sword hand come close in front of the heart, we turn the hip, we go 𝐶𝐸𝐵 and step 45 degrees and block. here the sword is centered, as you can see here. The sword is on the center line and shouldn't be like this, otherwise it would be open. You close it with the center line. Now, watch carefully, turn, center, cut, step 45 and cut. And go center, step 45 and block. So now let's do it once again and watch how I do the angles. See, I'm turning, and when I go in vertical position, I'm using the hip, so the sword is always in front of myself. I step and we do the cut. The edge is also 45 as well as the cut and my stance. Going back to the heart, breathe, you go 𝐸𝐴𝐵, step and block. Go in, use hip, motion and cut. Watch my sword hand, how it's going together with the sword movement. Make sure when we do the cutting that the sword goes to the center, as you see here, and then we simply go forward with the step, and because the gravity center, we let go of the sword, as you see here. And this motion here is the cut, right? And then we are here. So let me show you once again in Tai Chi speed how we do the movement. See here. Make sure when you're stepping that the hands and the hand wrist are relaxed. So you make use of your gravity center, of your stepping, of your rooting and of the momentum. Fully relax and only use the strength where you need it. Breathe and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, all right? Good. So now another important basic movement. We start like this, as you see here. We're starting like this, and this is similar to Tai Chi push hand, but just with a sword, right? We go in the horizontal line, we go 𝐸𝐴𝐵, and we use the third here of the sword close to the hilt as block and push. And now we go in, sword hand comes first, together with the step, and the tip of the blade looks into the same direction we're gonna go. We turn the arm as you see here, and then we go. Don't go and turn same time. So first turn, then go, then cut, and then step close, use momentum, and turn the sword once again in circular motion as you see here. And then we step and repeat. 1, step and block. Attack, step and block. So let's do it once again very slowly and watch at the circular motion and look how the sword always stays at the same height. To the center and back to circle. It's the same principle as the Tai Chi push hand. When heavy attacks come in, you don't wait and stay in a heavy block. Instead, you use the circle to go around that heavy attack and block it. This gives you the opportunity to counter. The principle applies here the same as Tai Chi push hand. Breathe together with the movement, and here we are. Watch it once again. Make sure you're blocking in front of the center. This is where you have the most strength. And the arms are in round angle. Otherwise you cannot push the block. So these were the basic movements of the Tai Chi Chuan. And next we are going to start with the Tai Chi Chuan form. Make sure you know all the basics and you don't really have to think about all the movements when you're exercising them. Then you're ready for the form. So see you soon for the Tai Chi Chuan episodes. Goodbye.